Hey everyone, it's your girl Jen, and today we are doing a chill get ready with me and also a Q&A. It's been a minute since I filmed one of these. So I gathered some questions on my Instagram and we're just gonna go with the flow. Don't know what we're gonna do with the face today, but we'll see what happens. So the first question is, what has quarantining at home taught you? Top 3 things. I think this has absolutely been a time for all of us to kind of reflect on what our values are and what's important. I feel like my first lesson or reminder is just to constantly practice gratitude. I know it sounds so cliche, like #blessed, but it's true. I feel like in this pandemic has affected all our lives, but there are a percentage of people that are being hit so much harder than the rest. And so I am always trying to recognize my privilege. We can all safely say that we know at least one person that has lost their job and is going through it. So now is really the time to step up and help out if you can by donating, obviously wearing your masks and wearing the protective gear that you can to be outside, and also to not let guilt consume you too, because there is a fine line. So the second thing I want to talk about is the importance of routine and novelty. During this time, I've really stuck with a quarantine routine. I think if you guys saw my previous vlogs, you guys know like the schedule that I create every day. Honestly, this routine has been the foundation of the reason why I feel so focused. Like, this is the most focused I've ever felt. And it's because I'm like roughly doing the same thing every day. However, just because I'm doing similar things each day doesn't mean that it's stale. Now, this is where the sprinkle of novelty comes in. I used to think that novelty had to be drastic. Like, oh God, we gotta travel somewhere. We got to, I don't know, do like a class that we've never done. Like, just, I thought it had to be like that. But now I'm realizing novelty can be something very simple. Like, instead of meditating on the bed, I might meditate like outside. Or instead of eating the same thing for breakfast, I will try a new recipe. It's simple as that. And these little sprinkles of newness really spice up your life. I find that it's really rewarding for me, and this actually feels like a sustainable way to live. Because if you're constantly trying to chase novelty through drastic measures, there's gonna be a time where it just kind of putters out. So being able to remix something in your life that is quite ordinary but essential is the way that I've been enjoying to live. During this time, we really have to be creative on how we want to find motivation and find that spark, but it's honestly a muscle. Like, the more you seek out how you're gonna entertain yourself, like the better you become at it. And the third thing that I learned is the fact that I am more of an introvert than I thought I was. Growing up, I was definitely an introvert. I was super shy. And then when I was 16 or 17, I started to become more extroverted, even though it took everything out of me. And then I don't know, I feel like I've always flickered back and forth, but this time has just confirmed to me the fact that I am an introvert. I feel like RuPaul said it best. I'm an introvert masquerading as an extrovert. Like, if I am at a social gathering, I'll pull together and talk to everybody and do what I can. But when I come home, I'm just totally, completely drained. It's been nice to be at full battery all the time. So the second question is, how did you change your habit of rushing to get things done to enjoying the process instead? I am still learning how to do this. I've seen improvements, which I am happy about, but it's definitely a learning curve. During this time, I've definitely slowed down, and I catch myself when I'm rushing to do something. Like with work especially, I am extremely manic. Like, if there is something that needs to get done, I have to do everything in my power to get it done, because it's just this wall of anxiety that just fills me up, and the only way to release it is by finishing and completing the task. But I realized that not everything needs to be so goddamn urgent all the time. If everything is urgent to you, then how are you going to prioritize what is actually urgent and important? I think my habit of rushing definitely comes from the fact that I can be quite impatient and impulsive. There are a lot of decisions and projects that will happen in your life that are gonna require you to take some time to think about and simmer. Not everything has to be so immediate. Life isn't all about instant gratification. There's a lot of delay in it. And so you have to accept that lag and be disciplined about finishing things when they're important and relying on yourself, but there's no need to have this like constant worry and this feeling of being overwhelmed. I realize that this is a very specific question because not everyone's like this, but if anyone is like me, like please know that you're not alone in this feeling. How do you find motivation to keep working so hard and staying positive now? It is one of my jobs to make sure that I am seeking out my own motivation. No one is going to serve you motivation on a platter every single day. So it is your duty and your diligence to find media that really speaks to your soul, that lights a fire in your butt. I mean, if you have a mentor, like that is freaking clutch. But if you don't have a mentor, such as myself, I really rely on books, podcasts, even like videos, and I'll just like take notes and try to absorb what I can. If there's like someone that I look up to, I will look at every type of media that they've posted and learn from there. And that's a huge benefit that the internet has to offer. It is like a well of knowledge. And obviously you have to absorb it with a critical eye and mind, but there's a lot of resources out there, but it's your job to go out and catch them. I also think that goals are important, but it's more about creating a system that works for you. Like a goal is necessary because it sets you off in a direction. However, a system that works for you is gonna be the way you're gonna see progress. Let's say you have a goal of reading more. Like just hoping that you're gonna read more isn't gonna be the thing that puts you over the edge. Like hope is not a strategy, but a concrete system will. So it can be as simple as like, all right, at 5 o'clock after I finish my work, I'm gonna read 3 chapters of this book in the dining room. And just committing to that is gonna be able to make you have more tangible progress, and it'll also keep you more accountable. So with all my goals, I make sure that I break it down and I have a system on how I'm gonna complete it. Keeping track of it is really helpful as well, because when you are keeping track of your progress, you're able to look back and it's like having receipts for yourself. You're like, oh my gosh, wait, I've done this for a full week and I see some actual progress. And seeing progress is how you build up momentum. For my eyeliner, I'm using this pen by Clio, and I'm just gonna do like I'm gonna try that like fox eye trend. I did this makeup for the Revolve Awards in November. This has been around for a long time. I don't know why the only example I'm thinking of is like Melissa Marie. So to wrap up this question, what I'm trying to say is I seek out my own motivation, then I will have some goals that I'll write down. And then from those goals, I will write out specific and detailed and realistic plans on how I'm gonna achieve them by adding them into my calendar. And I know it might seem like overwhelming, but you know what? Nothing that is easy is gonna be that rewarding. All the things that you've worked hard in and have like invested your time and your energy into, those are the things that are gonna be most fruitful. I don't know what to tell you other than like, you gotta just start now. And I know it sounds hard, but life is hard. And if it was easy, then everyone would be doing it. Have you been going to therapy since the pandemic hit? Yes, I have. I've been doing teletherapy, so we do it through the webcam. It's just with my long-standing therapist that I've been with for several years. I like to do therapy at least once a month, and on top of everything, I have been making it a point to journal even more. Another one of my resolutions for this year was to journal more, but I didn't expect to journal every day, which I do now. And it's been such a great way to catalog and organize my thoughts and feelings. I think the act of like just checking in on myself more has absolutely helped with my mental health. But there are some mornings where I just wake up and I'm just feeling just extra prickly and irritable for no particular reason. And I think like historically in the past, I would kind of like interrogate myself, being like, why are you feeling this way? There's no real reason why you should feel this way. Like, look at what you have. You don't deserve to feel like this. But honestly, that negative energy is not helpful at letting a negative mood pass. A lot of the times when you feel this negative emotion, you just have to feel it and like sit with the discomfort. But it basically just means like to not question it and to just kind of like actually sit with it. Like now when this happens, I'll just take a moment to like go on my Calm app and then I'll do 10 minutes of it, or I'll start journaling. But if I notice that my tone is too harsh, I just don't even journal. Like I don't even want that out there. I just kind of sit with it and I just kind of let it pass. And I really, really focus on my breathing. When we feel these big emotions, it honestly feels like eternity. Whenever I felt these emotions, I felt like it would just last forever. I don't know why my mind always turns to that, but it's a complete lie. Every big emotions that we've had, it will eventually pass through time, and questioning it too much or beating yourself up over it, it just extends that process more. I've really tried my best to not react to it. It's almost like the more you touch it and prod it, it kind of flares up more. And sometimes you just need some time to let it pass. And that's where patience also comes in. You can't rush through emotions. So this is my highlighter. I'm using this one by Lancome. What did you think you couldn't survive without lockdown, but you actually don't even miss? I don't really miss going out, which is crazy. I feel like it was such a big part of my identity and I thought that I just needed it, but I'm actually okay. Like I don't have this itch to go to a bar or a club or a festival. I'm just like, this is pretty chill. Like I can manage this, but who knows? Like I don't know how I'd feel at like the end of the year. We'll see. I feel like I finally come to a place where I enjoy my evenings, and it's a combination of like reading books, doing my master class, watching a film, and then also like writing like my own analysis about the film. A lot of the activities I'm doing, I require more like mental energy. So I realized that I didn't bring a lip color. So what I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna get this color over here, Shell Yeah, and I'm gonna just pop it on my lips and see what that does. That actually did something, guys. Look, color. All right, guys, that is it. This is the finished look. Thank you for submitting your questions, and I hope you enjoyed this or learned something. I know it was a lot about mental health and motivation and strategy, but these are themes I like to talk about. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for watching. Bye. Mwah.